Alright, so in today's video we're taking a look at this camera by Caddx FPV called the Farsight. And this isn't a new camera, it came out last year and I've only just got around to reviewing it. But basically what this is it's a analog FPV camera, but what makes it special is the fact that it's actually got a zoom. It's got a 8 times zoom, which is obviously very rare for a FPV camera. So in today's video, we're going to take a look at this. Because the first thing we do is we get out of the box and actually see what it is you get. I already got a pretty good idea because I've seen pictures of it and obviously I've reviewed other Caddx products. So you get a warranty card thing. You then got a little quick start guide, which has got your wiring diagrams and a bit of technical information. Normal stuff. And then in the little insert here, also got a little bag with some wiring looms. You need to connect it. And then obviously you've got the camera and the little box unit that comes with it as well. So taking a look at the camera, interestingly, it actually looks quite a lot like a DJI 03 camera. It's quite a short little stubby camera. It's got a very big wide lens on it. And then on the back here, we've got the little, it's what Caddx likes to call their AI box, which is it's basically got a little processor on there that does some sort of enhancement kind of things. So as far as I understand, this camera, although it's an analog camera, it's actually got a digital sensor in it. And from what I've read, it's actually got a 4K sensor. And when you do the zooming with this camera, there's no optical zoom on this. There's no actual moving parts in there. But instead, you take that 4K image and then, as you zoom in, the image gets cropped. And that does mean that, as you zoom in and crop the image, the image will start to lose quality and get a little bit pixelated. But that is what this device here is then supposed to sort of help compensate for. This is supposed to, sharpen the image as you zoom in, so you don't actually get any loss of quality as you zoom in. And whether that works or not, we will find out in a little bit. Let's have a quick little look at this AI unit thing here. So on the front here, you've got a little plug. That's where the power goes in, and it's also where the video signal goes out. And you can send that either directly to a video transmitter or a flight controller. Here we've then got a bigger plug. This is going to be connecting to a flight controller, so you can actually control the zooming. I'm not quite sure how that works yet. I'll figure that out when I wire it up. And then a couple more ports on the side here. They're not labelled. And then there's nothing really else to say about that. Let's have a quick look at the manual. The manual doesn't actually explain what those other ports are for either. But this is actually kind of common with Caddx products. Quite often they've got extra ports and they never tell you what they're for. I do wonder though if this little bit here, there's like a little slot there. I do wonder if that would allow you to actually connect this box directly to a Walksnail Avazar HD video transmitter. I've got no idea. That's something I'll look at in a little bit. So yeah, that is the Farsight camera. Now, I should just explain that, this is absolutely not designed to be put in like a fixed wing aircraft or like a race quad or anything. It's going to be designed to be put into like, a big quadcopter, which is kind of designed to just hover in place. It's not designed to be sort of on any kind of aircraft that moves around at speed. You want to put this on something that can kind of hover in place so you can then look around. And the reason for that is obviously because, if you zoom in, and obviously your image is going to get very, very narrow, then it would be impossible to, fly whilst moving around. So yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm now going to go get this installed in my, my big heavy lift quadcopter. And yeah, then we'll take this camera out and we'll see what it's like. Let's go. Okay, so it's a few hours later, and as you can see, I've now got the Farsight camera installed on my big X500 V2 heavy lift quadcopter. I've just got it installed here on the gimbal alongside my thermal camera from a previous project. And yeah, getting this installed actually was very easy. Like, I'll put a little wiring schematic up on the screen for you. It was actually extremely simple to get this set up. And in addition to doing the wiring, I had to then just make one small change on RD Pilot, which was really, really easy. And then on my radio, I then just had to set up one of the scroll wheels here. I've got this one here set up. That then just allows you to actually control the zoom. So yeah, as you can see, I'm now at the park. It's a gorgeous, bright, sunny day. And what we're going to do is we're going to take this up in the air, and then obviously we're going to test the camera and see what it's like. So yeah, let's get on with it. Right, the aircraft's all powered up, so let's get it in the air on the aircraft. And let's take her up. Bit of throttle up. And we are airborne. Let's take her forward a little bit. And what we'll do is we'll turn the aircraft around so it's facing me. There I am down there. Let's adjust the gimbal a little bit so it's looking at me a little bit more. And then we'll climb her up. Probably go up to, I don't know, about 30 meters or something. A little bit higher. That'll probably do. And then we'll central the throttle. And then let's try the zoom. So using the slider on the radio, or the scroll wheel, if I now move it forward just a little bit, on the top right you can see where it says 1x, that means we've got 1 times zoom. Move the slider forward a little bit. Now we've got 1.5 times zoom. Keep moving it forwards. We should then get 2. Forward even more. 2.5. As you can see, the more I move the scroll wheel, the more we zoom in. That's 3. So I'll just adjust the gimbal a little bit to keep me in the shot. So we're up to 3.5 times zoom, hopefully. There we go, 3.5. Well, that's 4. A little bit of interference there. So this is an analog camera. Let's keep moving the zoom up to 5. A bit more to 6. And then the next one should be 8. So that is the maximum zoom. Just going to move up a little bit and adjust the position of the camera a little bit. It is quite hard to get this just right. Yeah, so if I now look up and I give you a wave, hopefully you can see me nice and clearly. I just realised we have just drifted off shot a little bit there. And my apologies. Just trying to adjust the gimbal a bit. So as I said earlier on, this is a 4K sensor on this camera and it says digital zoom. So as you do zoom in, you are losing a little bit of detail. It's not quite as sharp when you zoom in. If I zoom back out again, all the way out, the image is a little bit sharper when it's zoomed out than it is when it's zoomed all the way in. That is to be expected. I should also point out it is a very hot day today, so there's a lot of heat haze. So some of that shimmering that you're seeing there is because of that. Let's zoom back out and then let's actually have a look at something else that we've got here. So over here, there's a little building. So let's try zooming in on that. We're probably a good, I don't know, 150 meters away from that. So that's 3 times zoom. Go to the maximum. There's the 8 times zoom. So actually pretty impressive. So a little bit of shimmer there. And the image is it's certainly lacking in a bit of contrast, especially as you zoom in there. The colours also seem to be, the saturation's kind of pulsing a little bit, which is unusual. I'll zoom back out again. Let's have a look over at something else. There's a big tower block over here actually in this far distance. Let's try and zoom in on that. It's 3 times zoom. 8 times zoom. Annoyingly, okay, there you go. Move the gimbal up. So 8 times zoom, 1 time zoom. So it's not an absolutely massive zoom capability on here, but it's still a reasonable amount. Bear in mind, obviously, you don't normally have any zoom capability on an FPV camera. I think this is actually pretty good. It's pretty impressive. It is quite hard to use any of the increments. I mean, I find that the scroll wheel on my radio here is happy with 1. It immediately wants to jump to 3, and then it wants to jump to 8. It's very hard to get any of the in-betweens. Like 5 is quite hard. Try and get 2.5. I have to be very, very delicate with the scroll wheel. Now, obviously, that is just my radio. Different radios will obviously have different scroll wheels, which may work better. And you don't have to use a scroll wheel. You could use like a 3-position switch, but also if you did that, you'd only have 3 different positions of zoom. You wouldn't have those ones in the middle. You'd have first, middle, which would be probably 4 or 5, and then you'd have 8. Let's just try zooming in over here. I don't really want to sort of like zoom in on like, you know, people's windows in the houses or anything, but there is someone's car here. Let's just try and zoom in on their car a little bit. There you go. There's a shame of some of shimmering, and the shimmering is very much coming from the heat today. I mean, I guess there could be a little bit of jello coming from the fact that this is mounted on a quadcopter. So you do get a lot of vibration with that. What do we have over here? Tell you what, let's climb up a little bit higher actually. Go a little bit higher and then we can look down on things a little bit more. And what we'll do is we'll have another look at me. So just switch to the thermal view just quickly, just because that's got the OSD on it. So 32, 33 meters. Keep climbing up to, we'll go up to 40.
OSD profile 1.
We'll level it there. So let's see what I now look like from 40 meters high. Let's now zoom in a little bit. So there's 3 times zoom. Let's go all the way to 8. Oh, I'm out of shot. Where am I? The scroll wheels on this radio are quite delicate. It's quite hard to get things perfectly lined up. But there I am. Hopefully you can see me there waving. So the image is it's a little bit blown out. It's a very, very bright day here. So I mean, I'm wearing a white shirt and it is kind of getting blown out a little bit. So the white balance, sorry, not the white balance, the wide dynamic range, not the best. But then I guess when you look at the image as a whole, it's not too bad. It's only when you zoom in, obviously you're cropping just one small part, but then it starts to look a little bit not so good. Let's have another look over in this direction here. I do apologise for the little bit of interference we're getting here. I guess it's because the quad's directly, or almost directly overhead here, kind of in the null zone of the antennas. So there's some train tracks over here. A little zoom in on them. It's 3 times zoom, 3.5. I did just notice as well that there is actually a runner just down here. Where are we? It's very hard to get this just right. So there is a runner there. Zoom all the way out. Barely see them when you zoom out, but yeah, when you zoom in, try and yaw to follow them. Yeah, you can see them quite well. So yeah, it's to be expected really. I mean, you get the same thing if you look through a pair of binoculars or if you look through like a telescope or something, or as you magnify images and zoom in and stuff, like the quality does degrade a little bit. That is to be expected, even with an optical zoom, not just with a digital zoom. Oh, we've got some people over here. Just realised I nudged the throttle and we were coming down a bit then. So yeah, there's a group of people walking across the field here. Now obviously because this is an analog camera, it's not like Super HD. I mean, I'm zooming on these people here, you can't make out their faces or anything about them at all. Zoom back out again. I do kind of feel like this is just a bit of a gimmick, really. I mean, it is cool, but is it useful? I'm not really sure. I mean, you couldn't use this to, you know, spy on anybody because, one, you shouldn't, but two, this is a big heavy lift quadcopter, just making a lot of noise. I'm only
OSD profile 2.
only 20 meters high at the moment. You can really clearly hear it at that altitude. And yeah, if I went much higher than that, I don't feel like the zoom would do you a whole lot of good if you were trying to spy on anybody. Because like I said, this is an analog camera. So you're not exactly going to get like, you know, super high definition details or anything useful like that. Just bring it back to a hover there. So I think we've got a like a sports centre here. So we'll zoom in on this. Let's go all the way to max, shall we? We're not really interested in half zoom, we want the full amount. Ooh. Very hard to get the gimbal you want it, especially when you zoom in, because obviously every small movement of the gimbal gets magnified. Little picnic table there. Just having a little scout around. Let's look off into the far distance over there. And zoom all the way out. Zoom all the way in. So yeah, not an absolutely humongous zoom. Like I said, it's only 8 times. But it is more than you would get with a normal FPV camera, which has absolutely no zoom whatsoever. Zoom back down and have a look at me. I'm going to bring the quad back down there and land. How far have we got to go?
OSD profile 2.
18, 16, 15.
OSD profile
Coming
1.
down. Bring it back towards me. And landed.
Disarmed.
There we go. Okay, so yeah, that is a quick little look at the Farsight camera from Caddx. A sort of very interesting bit of kit. Some of you guys might like it, some of you might not. But you might be wondering why it is I've suddenly decided to review the Farsight, you know, considering that it came out a year ago. And the reason for that is actually because Caddx is about to release a new camera, the Farsight 2, and they have sent me one to have a look at and review. And the new Farsight camera, unlike the Farsight 1, which is entirely digital zoom, the new Farsight 2 camera actually is an optical zoom camera, and apparently it's got a 40 times zoom capability, so significantly more than what we've got on the Farsight here. So yeah, basically I figured it makes sense to review the Farsight 1 first, hence me doing this video. And then at some point in the next couple of days, we'll have a review of the new Farsight 2 camera. And I think that one might actually be a lot more interesting than this one. So yeah, anyway, that's all I've got to say for today's video. But I hope you enjoyed watching it. And as always, if you have, please do give it a like down below. And yeah, I guess I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers guys, bye.